How you doing? Billy again.
Christopher again.
Second installment, we're going to show you a few control locks and control chokes. Some things to actually make your opponent submit and just completely neutralize them. Again, pretty simple stuff, pretty basic stuff. You know, not a whole lot of skill, but it does take a little bit of know-how to apply it. First thing I'm going to show you is it's a wrist lock. Basically, what it does, it works on the leverage of your wrist with its carpal tunnels. It forces them to have extremely painful carpal tunnel.
Carpals.
Carpals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to twist the wrist here and basically use it as leverage to either pull him down on the ground or break, you know, or pull him down and hold him until he gives up and submits. First I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate slowly how to do it. Then I'm going to do it half speed. We'll do it half speed. However you can do it, gain control of his arm. It's not going to be as pretty as that, obviously, because nobody really fights like this anymore. It's always like bitch fighting. So however you can do it, gain control of his arm. So let's just say for the sake of it, I'm that good, and I trapped his arm just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply pressure to his last two knuckles in between them. Apply pressure there with my thumb. I'm going to wrap my fingers all the way around into his palm. And I'm going to take my other hand here and cup it and tighten it down. I'm going to apply a twisting motion. And while I'm doing that, I'll just continue forward and pull him down while twisting all the way down. And you know, with that I can drag him down and hold him. I can drag him down, break it, you know, completely disabling his hand. So a little faster now. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, shut up. Basically, that's just good for if they have a weapon, disarming the weapon, breaking their hands so they can use it. Alright, next one I'm going to show you is called a arm lock. I'm sure there's different names for it, but it's just a damn arm lock, a shoulder lock, whatever you want. Basically what this one's going to do, it's going to work on the principles of your shoulder, your rotator cuff, your elbow as a vice lock, and in some ways even your wrist again. So basically how I'm going to do this is come up with this right here, thumbless grip right here on the outside of the wrist. Bring this arm, chop it down into the bend of his elbow, fold it up and over like that, and bring him down. What that does is basically forces that into a very unnatural position and just causes immense pain. A lot of control there, especially if done correctly and fast enough. You can just lift them up, snap it, disable it, however you want to do it. There's also another way, the opposite way, which is more common. Again, outside thumbless grip, so you don't break your thumb, to the outside of the wrist, bend it up, and then you can actually lock your hand right here on your own shoulder and bring it down like that. And that's actually more common because the other one, you know, you leave yourself open to punches and whatnot. But if you do this way, you know, if you do this way, you can just tuck your head down, whatever, and twist. Back of your head, you're not going to, you know, your face is really more delicate than the back of your head. So do a little faster now, a little half speed action. Right there. See? Get his elbow up onto my chest, because if you got it down here, it's not really going to work. He's going to slip out of it. You know, it's completely ineffective if done like that. The real trick of it is you got to lock his elbow right there on the top of your chest. Bring it down just like that, and then just drop your weight down. He'll fall with you. All right. Next one I want to do is a front headlock, sometimes referred to as a guillotine or an anaconda choke. Basically, you're just going to close the distance, wrap your arm around here, get the however you want it. Some people do the blade of their forearm here, the cusp of their elbow. Either way, it can be very effective, very dangerous if applied. So when you do it, either do it like this, completely around the cusp of the elbow, kind of like an opposite rear naked choke. Grab your elbow up here and just gently lift up, tap on the hurts. You're just going to gently apply, because if you do it fast enough, you could seriously injure. I mean, if you're going to seriously injure them, do it quickly, in a quick twisting, jerking motion, cause serious damage. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to close the distance, bring it around here, and bring it upward. Alright, That's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a front choke. You know, I'm not going to do it too much. I don't want him to black out on me. Next one I'm going to show you is the rear naked choke. It's a very common choke in UFC and MMA all across the world. It alleviates a lot of damage getting thrown at you because you're behind your opponent. So what you're going to do, this one you're going to use the bend in your elbow, the cusp of it, go right across his Adam's apple like that, because you're using your forearm and your bicep to cut off circulation to his jugular muscle, or his jugular veins. So right here, you're going to cusp it across his neck, put your hand back here, again lock your arm behind his head, and you're just going to squeeze and pull up. I'm not going to apply it to him because I don't want him to black out, but bend, lock behind his head like this, tighten and pull up, and it's going to screw him up pretty bad. Next one I'm going to do is a choke takedown. It's basically a variation of the front choke. In this instance, what you're going to do is you're going to apply a front choke, but at the same time you're going to, see how I did that there? You're going to apply a grip underneath his arm, onto his back here. You're going to grab onto his shoulder, which gives you a lot more leverage. And from here, what you're going to do is you're basically going to raise his arm up, and you're just going to twist out. So again, slowly. You're going to just do this. From here, you don't even have to throw him. You have such control. You can bring knees into him. You can bring elbows into his spine. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can humiliate him. You know, a lot of things you could do. I'm not going to. That's just unprofessional.
I'm nervous about the last one.
But what you can do is you just put him down and just maintain yourself. There you go. All right, it's pretty self-explanatory for that one. That doesn't take a whole lot of skill. You know, as long as you can get his arm locked or some kind of leverage, basically just toss him, discard him, however you got to do. All right, next one's a little more dangerous. If done improperly, it's a neck crank. It's another variation of the rear naked choke, but instead of using the principles of cutting off circulation, you're actually just putting tension on the vertebrae in your spine. So we're going to go to the rear naked position here, and instead of applying a choking manner, what you're going to do is you're going to go to his jaw, and you're going to grab the top of his head on the right side, and you're just going to apply a cranking motion on his neck. I'm not going to do it too hard because I don't want to break his neck, but you know, there's a lot of variations. That's the one I use in self-defense. When you bring it over, you know, you throw him off balance. You can take him down with that, or if he resists, you could easily crack his vertebrae. You could break his neck. There's a lot of things. So once again, I don't just give it to him. I mean, but once again, you're just going to try and lock in his jaw and just crank his head up. You know, if done quickly, you could break his neck. You know, if you wanted to, you could take him down with it. You know, however you wanted to do. Thank you very much.